Hey, Dr. Mandolin here. I told a friend I would do this video, and it's a condensed version of everything to be aware of for what we're bored of hearing about. But if we want to get back out, see shows, interact with people again, and you're scared and concerned, I would love to help break it down for you. So we've got two preventative things. So far, right? We might have a little bit with V, but there's variants, and they're just going to keep saying you need another round. That only puts money back in the one percenters, right? As I teach my patients all the time, where's your money going is what you're voting for. That will triple down to the earth. And now it's getting to be the end here of resources that we have left. So we need to be really serious about what's going on and get out and make change. We're on a side and they're separating us, and they're using old propaganda and fear-based mind tricks and everything that a lot of us should have been ready for and see, but people aren't seeing it. That the government overreach is done now. I am done wearing a mask whenever possible. I'm totally about real Chris Sky, hashtag just say no. We all have to combine together to be able to bring back our rights. We have lost our rights. We have lost our mental sanity, and we've got to start standing up together saying no, we want something better here. We deserve better. We are not going through another year of this bullshit. So ivermectin and other drugs have already been proven. They're already out there. It's not going to hurt anybody if you want to go pharmaceutical wise. You got ivermectin. You can take a dose. It's about 5-6 pills for an adult every 3 months. Worked beautifully for preventing. The spread thing, you're not going to stop really the spread with the vaccine. This is still up in the air, right? So you can't put all your cards there and go, oh, but that's okay, whatever people are more comfortable with, because we got to reach herd immunity. If we just freaking let this go for 6 weeks, we could have met it by now. This is the kids' chicken pox, you guys. They're not getting hurt. They're not getting bothered. They probably actually need to experience this. If we didn't get all technical about the genome on this and didn't even know it was SARS, we would just think of it as another like avian flu kind of thing that definitely hits the sick in different areas, but people are getting hit harder. And that's because the water and the air are gone. So we have to start fighting to take that back too. So if you want to go all naturopathically, and that is going to be utilizing your melatonin at about 3 to 10 grams at night. Definitely bring it in if you've had an exposure and you just don't want to get this. Exercise, get down your fat, right? We know that fat inflammation is your death sentence. So stop eating the crap. That's where it's coming in on. And drink clean water. If you can drink volcanic filtered water, you're even better. Fiji, Earth 2.0, support good and local, and ban out Nestle. Please look at all the Nestle companies and don't support them. They don't believe that water is a right. They believe only the rich can get it. So this has gone to a whole new level of government and corporate 1% takeover. So again, you put your money towards getting a vax, then you're just supporting Johnson & Johnson, who is not a cool one. Bill Gates, who's a big liar and owns all of 70% of the farmland now in Oregon, the United States. That could, why does he want to do that? Because he wants to put us all on synthetic everything. That is not sustainable. That is not a good idea. Synthetic anything, you guys, synthetic injections is a huge poison. For all of us who've been working our asses off to stay healthy and not go down, this is Synthetics have always taken us down. From biologics that derange the immune system, this is a freaking next complicated level of that. I'm afraid I'm never going to figure out how to fix everybody post. I've got so many weird things now to deal with my patients. We just have to sit and wait and help do all of our natural anti-inflammatories and adaptogen mushrooms. And it's just, ugh. Support the detoxification pathways, stop the ringing of the heads going on and inflammation points that have blown up and won't calm down, old injuries that are kicking up. Uh, I love Colorado. Colorado's the only state that doesn't have obesity issues. They just shut down a big vaccination site they had because they were having so many reactions of people going to the hospital, and they're like, done. We're not doing this Johnson & Johnson vaccine anymore to our people. Everybody go home. But Colorado, we love you. Number one with bringing out marijuana. Anyway, vitamin C onto my, I am so bad at like condensing things. Okay, so we got ivermectin, melatonin, vitamin C with quercetin. You really want to just look for quercetin, right? Vitamin C with quercetin is confusing people. So get a really good quercetin. Do not use pure encapsulations. That is, again, Nestle. Support your naturopaths. I have a platform with clinical grade stuff, and it's got the cheaper stuff too from health food store kind of levels. Zinc is probably okay. It just might bother your gut a little bit more. Quercetin, it could be just as good too. It just might not be coming from the best sources. But really where quercetin is high is in your rinds of your citruses. So using your zest and when you're cooking, eating the pith, all the white part inside, that's where your rutin and quercetin are. Those are much more potent because they're stimulating your own body's glutathione production. It's really this irritating thing that then makes us make it. So if we rely too much on taking things internally, then we'll stop making our more potent versions, right? We get reliant on things, but it's okay for periods of times for sure. Zinc, 30 milligrams is what they're saying out there with the the frontline COVID critical care team, FLCCC. They have all these protocols written right up. I was going to show. And it can be very helpful to just have your doctor look right at them. Even gives you the dose for ivermectin. That would be best. Ivermectin is a little expensive, but it at least doesn't have side effects. It has some benefits. It might hurt your gut a little bit, especially if you do have some bad bugs in there. It's going to knock out, maybe give you a little diarrhea and stuff. But for the most part, nobody really complains about that one. It's really a lot cheaper on the system, right? So zinc, you could go up as high as 50 to 60. Some people I need to do 90 micrograms for every 3 hours, for 3 months to really bring up low zinc levels or low white blood cells. And what else is on the frontline doctors for COVID critical care is, and the quercetin and zinc work together because the quercetin gets the zinc into the cells, into the white blood cells to do their job really well. I would also do like maybe some bone marrow and spleen support if you're feeling you have a low immune system. So that could be bone broths and organ beastie bits, we call it in the business. And there's definitely companies like Ancestral to Standard Process that do just to help put the organ meat in a capsule. That might be helpful. And that's very helpful for people who've had the vaccine and their immune systems have dropped, and they can't get back up. We're noticing a big hit on the spleen and the bone marrow to get to the source of the immune system, right? So then vitamin D. Vitamin D is huge, you guys. So huge. Us in the Pacific Northwest have seen this and know this very, very, very well. And then our African American friends need a lot more vitamin D because they're far more protective. Hispanics, Asians, all our Latinos, anybody with a little bit more color, your protection to the sun is like that much more. it takes to absorb and trigger vitamin D. It definitely takes your eyeball to do it, so you need to have your sunglasses off and no sunscreen. Sweet. So I use skincare that can help prevent that too, so I feel comfortable saying that for me, but of course everybody do. This is not medical advice. I am just repeating what is on the frontline COVID critical care doctors who are just trying to offer something that we feel is a little bit safer. Although they are heavy about masks, I am more on the side of they're more harm than good. Maybe if you're a large person where we've seen particle spreading larger with you, you're not quite sure if you're sick or not because you can't really feel it. This is why it's harder to get medication in larger people. Maybe them and the frail are the ones who need to be a little more protective for everybody else and wear your mask. I'm not worried about the kids. Anyway, having your terrain up then will help you not be a petri dish for a virus or any kind of bug. You guys, there are a million things out there that could get us. So we have to build up our immune system. We can never put up a wall big enough to keep out a freaking virus. And the way Mother Nature works, she's going to win. So we've got to get our backyard, our palace up. And unfortunately, quick hit of like a vaccine isn't going to be your answer, especially when things keep shifting. And then you're only giving into this government overreach of creating IDs. And what about a medical ID that actually says, hey, I exercise, I drink my 12 ounces of water, had my 12 servings of 12 ounces. No way, 120 ounces, right? My 12 servings of vegetables and fruits, get my protein in, I'm shitting perfectly. Like, that's the kind of health that we're supposed to be grading, but does anybody care? No. I had no sugar today. Yay! These are the little accomplishments I'd love to hear that you're doing. What are you doing for you to help make sure you are not a petri dish for disease? And it can be in so many forms, right? So an overview, quick, if you'd like to get out in public again, you're feeling a little concerned, you can do ivermectin every 3 months. You can do quercetin with vitamin C. You can even do a lot of quercetin in food to not overdo it. Short terms of this stuff, getting in for blood work if you would really like to see, and getting that vitamin D tested is really important. I just saw an over-the-counter test Carson's fish oil is doing at the health food store. It's $60. I think mine's only $33 if you come in for a blood draw, but I think that's a little finger stick one, which could be really great for kids. Or the elderly who can be trickier to get blood off of, anybody who is a little bit more weak, if you really wanted to gauge that. And vitamin D, if you are, say, at 15, my goal is about 80. Because over 80, your vitamin D will then get into your breast milk if you're a mom for your baby. So I know we need to at least be there. And then we start to see food allergies, even huge ones, go down when you're over 80, closer to 100. Those reference ranges, your MD might get scared of if you're close to the top there at 100, but screw it. Old ancient primal people, we were at 250, we found. I have not seen anybody complaining when they hit even 120 and stuff of the muscle aches, they say. So for every 10 points you need to go, you need to do 10,000 IUs of vitamin D. So if you're at, 10, then you need to be doing, I would just go 80, 10,000 IUs if you're down real low, and you can do loading doses. So I talk more about this in a past video. All right, you guys, stay safe. Let's get the shit open up again and take our fucking world back, right? All right, love you all. Take care, my warriors, and peace out. Let me know what you're doing. Take care.